I could have been Nolan Wells at one point. And if you grew up in an environment that was different than your cultural background, you probably could have been as well. Hear me out. I've been seeing a lot of thoughts and commentary from the Black community on, well, you should have told him this, and your children should know who they are safe around, and yada, 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 right? But here is one perspective that I just do not feel like is being nourished in the collective conversation. And that is those of us that grew up maybe in the hood, or maybe not even in the hood, but had majority of our social experience in predominantly white, Jewish, Mandarin, and or other cultures. From some of the pictures that had been released, I was looking at the body language of Nolan, and some of his body language was actually more receptive and open to that of his white peers, right? His Caucasian peers and associates than that of his black friends or Afro descendant, whatever have you. But here's the thing. Why I'm saying that is we love to say and parade that Black people are not monoliths, that we aren't one dimensional, that we aren't just this one brandscape of Blackness. But then when we have something like this that surges to the top of the culture, we really have to break this down layer by layer. And that's sometimes Black culture rejects Black culture. Y'all be letting the children be out there by themselves, okay? So I grew up in the hood, but I went to predominantly white schools for the most part. And because of that, I had certain experiences that a lot of my peers did not. You know what I mean? I got to go different places. I got to have an expanded palette in certain things at a young age. And baby, because even with my language, my dialect, or my conversational, grammatical, whatever was different, I got called every name under the book. And you better believe I was bullied, picked on, teased, whatever. People wanted to fight me because they thought that I thought that I was better when really I just acclimated to a different social surrounding. And so when the black kids made me feel bad for being black but having different tastes than that of which was in the hood, it really rejected me. It ostracized me and it made me feel as though I didn't belong in the black community. I got the oh, she thinks she too good, or she stuck up and she bougie. And really, I was just quiet and now learning neurodivergent and just was in my own head about my own life. But you couldn't tell that to people that didn't know me because they just saw me as whatever they saw me as. And so this is where I empathize with Nolan, rest his soul, is that you can't be mad at somebody for gravitating towards their social circle, right? Their ecosystem is what makes them comfortable. We would think that maturity says if this is my friend group will support me and have my back. But not everybody knows that to be true firsthand. And so when it comes to this particular story, I think that we have to just pause and realize that sometimes we learn lessons the hard way about culture, but also we have to really embrace our own culture and we have to appreciate those that look like us but don't act like us or speak like us or think like us. So while I can agree that maybe he should have been forewarned or precautioned about what it's like to be a black male in an all white environment, sometimes we also have to have our all black environments accepting what isn't just one definition of black. Not everybody experiences their blackness in the hood. Not everybody experiences their blackness through gospel music and through fried chicken. I think. Some of us experience it through anime and through different cultures and Buddhism and all the things, right? Because all of these things we do and we do well as well. So whether we are called the token one or Oreo or code switching this and that, like honestly, you can't be mad at him for embracing what he thought was embracing him. There are a lot of us that are still healing from that. And to be honest, if I didn't have my own intuitive nature, I could have been Nolan. Now,